Hello. Sorry. My friend sent me this picture last week, and I decided to use it in this presentation because not only it speaks a lot about Belgian weather, but it reminds me of a Buddhist saying that says that everybody wants happiness, no one wants pain, but you can't have a rainbow without some rain. Water is my element, so excuse me if I will use many water references in this presentation. I just like how it flows, it can overcome any obstacle, and it lasts forever. When I was young, I sometimes felt that it was raining more than it was sunshine. As a teenager, I discovered easy ways, easy and quick solutions to my boredom and laziness, and how to feel better. I would never say no to a TV series, to funny sitcoms, or a great movie. I like to play video games, and while playing, I ate always a lot of chocolate. And I also discovered that I like to spend time with other people, my friends, my classmates, and later in life, my colleagues at work. Jumping forward to my adult years, when Corona pandemic started, many daily interactions disappeared, and the social life became literally non-existent. So I didn't feel so excited about the days as before. So I went back to my teenage years when I was lazy and bored and ate more food, binge watched many movies, played many video games until late hours, and I, of course, ate more chocolate than ever. And then I fell into depression. I was feeling sad, and every time I didn't do those things, I was feeling a bit down. So I was asking myself, why is it so? Why do I sometimes feel so low and want to do only the things that bring me pleasure? Maybe it has something to do with an ancient Hindu story that I am about to tell you now. This story says that long time ago, the gods were arguing about where to hide the source of happiness, because they thought that simple human couldn't handle the responsibility of knowing where it is. So at first they considered to hide it in the highest mountain, but soon they realized that humans would eventually find it. The same way they considered the deepest ocean or in the middle of the deepest forest. But the gods knew that one day humans would discover the happiness in all those places. So they didn't hide the source of happiness on the mountains, in the deepest cave, or in the ocean. But instead, they decided to hide it in the deepest depths of a human heart. Because they were convinced that humans would never look there. So, as I was in depression, I started to look inside of me, in my heart, in my brain, and I've realized that everything and everyone I see during my day, everything I taste, everything I hear, creates some kind of reaction inside my body. A little reaction or a bigger one. I feel love and joy when I'm with people that I love, or anticipation and excitement when I am about to experience something new, or I feel nervous when I'm on the stage, or I feel sense of pleasure when I am about to eat my favorite food. Mm. So, and I also discovered that I feel particularly bad after I have felt all those great feelings. Uh, so I wanted to look deeper, and because I wanted to find this source of happiness inside of me. And I discovered that all those feelings are there also because little molecules that our body creates. These molecules are called neurotransmitters, and they travel throughout my body, passing the information from cell to cell. As I was discovering all these molecules, I found that one of them particularly is very interesting, and that's dopamine, also called a feel-good hormone, feel-good molecule. It is a bit like the source of joy or instant happiness, but it seems that even though I learned in my teenage years how to extract it, it seems that I didn't use it really wisely, exactly as those Hindu gods predicted. So I have read a few things about dopamine, and I found that it plays a very important role in our lives. It is responsible for me getting up in the morning, going through my morning routine, getting to work, going to gym. It is the one component that keeps me moving. Since I'm not a biochemist, the next demonstration is not going to be scientific, but it's going to be metaphorical. At first I wanted to focus only on dopamine, but I guess this metaphor works with all the feelings and all the neurotransmitters that circulate in a human body. So imagine a pool of feelings. I call it my pool of happiness. The feelings are, in this case, represented by water. Imagine each of us gets a pool of happiness at birth. Some get maybe more water than the others. If the level is high and stable, I consider myself to be generally happy. So, and as the water slash happiness slash dopamine flows steadily from this tap, it keeps my happiness level stable. And these little waves that this flow is making represent the inflow of the feelings, the little excitements, surprises, funny moments in the day. Maybe I am enjoying a cup of tea, or I am about to go on holiday. Some feelings flow slower, some faster, and cause smaller or bigger waves. When I go to see a movie in a theater, or I am playing an exciting game, for example, I open the tap a little more and the water starts splashing around, going outside of the pool, leaving the pool inevitably empty. So this is when my feelings are exhausted and my body needs time to produce more of these feel-good hormones, molecules. That's why I need to give myself especially time to feel better. and to fill back my pool of happiness so it comes back to a good level. And as the pool is slowly filling, I try to not to do those things that made it empty in the first place, because that would empty it again, and that's how I could get into depression. So the time is the first ingredient here. But there is also a second ingredient which can help me feel better when the level in the pool is low. Do you remember the Buddhist Buddhist saying that I said at the beginning, the one about the rainbow and rain and happiness and pain? Well, pain is the second ingredient, but of course not real pain that can harm me, more like a harmless pain or hard work if you want. For example, in a form of cleaning, helping someone who needs my help, or eating Brussels sprouts even, or any hard work, mental or physical. So there is one slide missing, but I had another slide with a pool where was ice in it, and that was another example of how to use harmless pain to make me feel better. I like to use cold shower or even a cold bath. It's slightly uncomfortable at start, but it fills my pool of happiness with a fresh, cold water. Thank you for your attention.